wonderful. This will be our last video on writing a cadenza for the first movement of Mozart's Bassoon Concerto. In video 6, I presented 3 cadenzas, and we considered how best to match the style of cadenzas in Mozart's period. In video 7, I introduced the idea of having a harmonic plan for the cadenza, and we have seen some possible conclusions to the cadenza. Now in this video, number 8 in the series, we need to consider the opening and middle sections of the cadenza.
I suggest that you begin writing the opening and middle section of your cadenza by collecting some melodic fragments from the bassoon or orchestral parts. For instance, here are some ideas to consider. I've placed in red boxes possible ideas for the cadenza. Look at how rich these 8 measures are. These are more ideas here than needed for an entire cadenza. You could choose other ideas throughout the movement as well. With so many ideas and possibilities, there are almost unlimited ways to construct a cadenza for this movement. Usually, Mozart's opening statements in his cadenzas do not duplicate the opening statement in the solo instrument. Mozart, however, provides 2 B-flat 3s, which appear to reference the opening statement in the solo bassoon part, starting either by quoting the opening statement or another section would be appropriate. The opening statement needs to start on a cadential 6/4, in this case a B-flat major chord, so the safe thing to do is start by outlining the chord in your melody. In this figure, you see the violin parts at the top and a new opening composed for this video. Notice that I start the cadential 6/4 chord using F, B flat, and D, and make use of the rhythm and contour of the first fragment in the violin part. See how the idea is elaborated a few times. Here I decide to move the upper note in each by a step to create an appealing melody with direction. After the third repeat, it's time to break off with something else. So I decided to imitate the last melodic fragment in the violin example for that passage. I end with a 5/7 harmony in mind, setting up a more virtuosic section in the tonic key. Here is how Vincent's opening statement borrowed from measure 32 in the tutti section. He then borrows from the bassoon part in measure 51 in the last measure of the example. So my framework for the middle section is on the screen. You can see the opening section we created, the blank space for the middle section, and then a diminished 7th chord leading to the conclusion. I really like the idea given in Mozart's first cadenza where he approaches the pedal with a diminished 7th chord. So let's end my middle section with that chord. Sequences and repetitions are important features of middle sections in classical cadenzas. I've decided to start with the trill section in the bassoon solo in measure 51, but I will have to vary it just a bit. Then I will repeat it down a step, adjusting the notes to fit a 5/7 chord. Another repetition higher in the 5/7 chord continues it, and then I return back to the tonic. The adventure wasn't too far, and I've returned safely back to home. Now we need to try something else. I've already used that idea enough. Let's use the last 2 ideas in the string part, but instead of the arpeggios going downward, I need them to ascend. Since I end on a D in this first statement, it's quite nice to start on a D in the second statement. Now, I need a little bit of music to take me from the D4 and get me to E4 in my diminished chord. Just repeating that last statement in the violin section in upward steps works great for this. Now, let's hear how the whole thing sounds. In Vincent's middle section, here is the sequential pattern he uses. It is repeated twice and then breaks off after the third time. The sequential pattern in my cadenza is unusual due to the insertion of contrasting materials. On toread.net, you will find copies of the cadenzas by Vincent, some of my other students, and me. All of these are provided with kind permission of the authors. I hope that these give you further ideas for your cadenzas.
I hope that these discussions of how to write a cadenza for the Mozart Bassoon Concerto have been helpful for you. Be inspired. Take the challenge and write your own cadenza. Perhaps in the future, I will be able to hear what you have written. I look forward to it.